7 million years ago, the world was not made for us. Vast forests were slowly retreating, giving way to endless grasslands. Our earliest ancestors faced a pivotal choice: remain in the safety of the trees, or venture into a perilous new realm. Every step could mean the difference between life and death, but one brave stride would alter the course of our entire species. The Earth of 7 million years past was a world in transition. Warmth blanketed the planet, causing ancient forests to shrink and retreat. In their wake, expansive savannas stretched to the horizon, a sea of golden grass swaying in the prehistoric breeze. This shifting landscape set the stage for an evolutionary drama that would shape the future of humanity. In this changing world, our earliest ancestors emerged. Creatures like Sahelanthropus and Orrorin, not quite ape, but not yet human, took their first tentative steps on two legs. These beings, barely recognizable as our forebears, carried within them the spark of a revolutionary adaptation: bipedalism. Standing upright was more than just a new way to move. It was a gateway to a new way of life. With eyes now raised above the grass, these proto-humans gained a crucial advantage: the ability to spot both prey and predator from afar. Their hands, once needed for locomotion, were now free to grasp, to carry, to create. This simple change would prove to be the catalyst for an explosion of innovation that would echo through the ages. But the world beyond the trees was far from welcoming. Danger lurked in every shadow, behind every rock. Saber-toothed cats, their curved fangs glinting in the sun, prowled the grasslands. Massive hyenas, far larger and more ferocious than their modern descendants, scavenged and hunted in packs. In the rivers and watering holes, enormous crocodiles lay in wait, their ancient eyes watching for any sign of weakness. Survival in this harsh new world demanded more than just physical adaptations. It required ingenuity. Our ancestors began to see the world around them, not just as a source of food, but as a treasure trove of tools. Simple stone, when gripped in a newly dexterous hand, became a weapon of defense or a tool for cracking open tough nuts and bones. Sticks, once mere obstacles, were now extensions of reach and strength. As the challenges of the savannah mounted, so too did the importance of social bonds. Lone individuals stood little chance against the myriad threats that surrounded them. But together, in small family groups, and eventually larger tribes, our ancestors found strength. They shared food, dividing the spoils of successful hunts. They protected one another, standing guard while others slept. They passed on knowledge, teaching the young the vital skills needed to survive in this unforgiving land. This cooperation was more than just a survival strategy. It was the birth of human society. Around flickering campfires, under star-filled skies, the first whispers of culture began to emerge. Perhaps it was here, in these intimate gatherings, that language itself took its first halting steps. The mastery of fire marked a turning point in our evolutionary journey. Its warmth provided protection from the cold nights and kept predators at bay. Its light extended the day, allowing for new forms of social interaction and learning. And its heat transformed food, making it easier to digest and unlocking new sources of nutrition. Fire was not just a tool. As generations passed, our ancestors continued to adapt and innovate. Their brains grew larger, their tools more sophisticated. They spread across the savannas, following game and exploring new territories. With each passing millennium, they became more recognizably human. But the story of human evolution is not a straight line from ape to modern man. It is a winding path, full of dead ends and unexpected turns. For every species that survived and thrived, countless others flickered briefly in the evolutionary spotlight before fading into extinction. Our lineage is but one branch on a vast and complex tree of life. The legacy of those first bipedal steps echoes through time, shaping who we are today. Our upright posture, our dexterous hands, our social nature, all can be traced back to those early ancestors who dared to leave the safety of the trees and venture into the unknown. As we look back across the vast expanse of time, we cannot help but wonder, what would those early hominins think if they could see us now? Would they recognize in us the fruits of their struggle? Or would our world seem as alien to them as theirs does to us? Perhaps the most profound lesson we can learn from our ancient ancestors is one of resilience. In the face of a changing world, they adapted. When confronted with seemingly insurmountable challenges, they innovated. And when survival seemed impossible, they cooperated. Today, as we face our own global challenges, climate change, resource scarcity, social upheaval, we would do well to remember the legacy of those who came before us. For in their story, we may find the inspiration and the wisdom to take our own next steps into an uncertain future. The journey that began 7 million years ago continues with every breath we take, every tool we create, every bond we form. We are the latest chapter in an epic tale of survival, adaptation, and triumph against the odds. What will be our contribution to this ongoing story? What steps will we take to shape the future of our species and our planet? The choice, as it was for our ancestors on those ancient savannas, is ours to make.